Yo, peace to the tribe, wherever you guys might be, top of the day, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you guys are in this matrix of a world. Peace up from Kenya. I'm your brother Samal here at the Artist Journal. We are glitching out, we are having issues with uploading videos, so I am going live as much as possible because today is Sunday and a lot of you are going to the churches, you're going to listen to the pastor, and you're going for the good word. And that's a noble thing. And because today is Sunday, I want to talk a little bit about, as you guys can see the title, is religion crippling our spirituality? Because it's a difference. Let me explain. But before we get into it, welcome back to the platform, and please give us a like, share, and definitely subscribe to the platform. So, as I was taught in my upbringing from listening to reggae music, traveling the world to Ghana, Senegal, Gambia, actually Israel, um, Tanzania, and now here in Kenya, I was taught in my journeys that true spirituality, it's a living culture. It's things that you do on a day-to-day basis that causes you to be in harmony with your fellow man, woman, environment, and ultimately the source in which created us all, right? Whatever you want to call that. That is being in a state of spirituality, to be engaged in the processes of life that promote and enhance life and living. Give me 1 second, family. So, religion, on the other hand, is an organized system or systems of beliefs. Yeah, believe that Moses parted the Red Sea, that the children of Israel is the chosen people, that you understand Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt back into Israel. Those are beliefs. These are things, these are so called historical events that cannot be proved from a scholarly perspective. There's no primary sources that said that Moses threw down his staff and parted the Red Sea. There's no historical facts that we can say, oh, he did that because of this. We have this proof that Jesus actually walked on water. These are things that cannot be proved. And to further the conversation, a lot of characters that's in the Bible cannot be proved from a historical perspective. All we can surmise and say is that this is what I believe. You understand? So that's what religion is. It's a system or systems of belief. And to each his own. You understand? That doesn't make you wrong. You understand? But want to differentiate between spirituality and beliefs / religion. Religion. Like how you read the Bible and then on the side of it, it says the King James Version, right? So we have to ask the question, the version of what? A compilation of different books that was found throughout time. You understand? The Bible did not miraculously come out of the sky. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, First. Doesn't work that way, family. If you turn to the back of the book, you will see copyright. Somebody owns the copyright. You understand? So organized religion. So what happens when people come up under the banner of religion? You have millions and millions of different beliefs. And that's where the problem lies. Because when you have different beliefs, you can have somebody that's just a nut. Somebody that's a nut that has outlandish claims, and you will have gullible people that just want to do right. That just want to do right and come across this person that's just a nut and will lead them down the wrong path. That's where you have people praying to rocks, people going up into the wilderness, selling everything, leaving their jobs in the name of religion because someone told you that God is coming on this specific day. And we believe it, and the rug is pulled from up under us. I don't know. I just want to ask the question to the family. How long will we allow these things to how long will we allow these lies to go unaddressed? You know? And I wanted to come in today because today is Sunday. And of course, I'm always on Instagram and YouTube. So I come across these videos where people are just remember the video that I did of the lady, the pastor had asked the congregation to bring, I want to say $2,000 USD, family, per person. And she came up there with her son, and you could tell she just wanted to do right. You know what I mean? She came up there with $1,200, and the pastor literally embarrassed her. One second. Well, we in Kenya, there's all kind of bugs, especially when it starts to rain, rainy season. All kind of crazy looking bugs. Like we in the house last night watching a little YouTube. We look up, family. This is not an exaggeration. There's literally like 25, 30 different bugs all in the house attracted to the light. I don't know how they got in. You know, there's a bunch of bugs, like, it's crazy. Anyway, cradle of civilization type stuff. You understand? So the pastor tells the lady, didn't I tell you I need $2,000? Whatever happened to the spirit of tithing? That's 10%, and that you bring and you come with what's from your heart. How does the pastor get to dictate now to what it is that you bring? I'm lost. I'm literally lost for words. How does this work, family? How does the pastor now able to dictate what it is that the family, the congregation, tithe? How does the pastor, how's he in my pockets now? And then, of course, you know what's right outside of the church. Benz, Mercedes, BMW, something sweet. Because the people are sweet. You understand? Mansion, private jets, all in the name of God. You know, in the name of God. And I'm here to say, family, absolutely, there's a force that created all things. Absolutely. That's not what's in question. What's in question is these organized religions that's pimping the people in the name of God. That's what the Artist Journal, that's what I have an issue with today. You do not have to be taken advantage of to be blessed by the creator of the heavens and the earth. You understand? Remember, it is always about the content of your heart and your spirit and what's in here, that you making sure that you pull out the weeds that grows in your mental spiritual garden. That's the work that must be done on a daily basis. That the mind, according to As a Man Thinketh, James Allen, powerful book. He created As a Man Thinketh and As a Woman Thinketh. That your thoughts, you are a byproduct of the thoughts that you have, right? So the negativity, the negative thoughts that we have, that we do spiritual work on a daily basis to make sure that we're at an even level. You understand that those negative thoughts, that negativity which is synonymous to weeds in the garden, that you pull those weeds up. And how do you pull those weeds up? That you make sure that on a daily basis, you are reading things, you are watching things, you are listening to things that are life enhancing and life promoting. That's the work. That's what they call shadow work. You understand? Doing work when nobody's watching. Only you in the universe, you and your creator, that you make a conscious decision that I'm going to do the right thing. When nobody's watching, family. Give me 1 second. Yeah, no. Bugs, family, bugs. That is spirituality. That is doing the work. You understand? Nobody can do it for you. It's more than just to believe. I believe and I'm in. Doesn't work that way. When you are conscious, when you are aware, and you're able to make decisions, sound decisions, that's when it's on the line, family. That's when it counts. You understand? And as the Muslims say, you seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Because whatever it is that you learn along the way, you carry it on to this everlasting journey. You see, this physical life, this lifespan that we have, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, is a blink of an eye, family. We are in this physical bodies that consist of minerals and water, right? Electricity. And then when it's wore down, you understand? Our energy, the source of who we are, the core of who we are. It's when the Muslims say, from the cradle to the grave, that information, that knowledge that we acquire along the way. It isn't just because, it's for a reason. You understand? And you are only attracted to what it is that you are. So we want to make sure that we are always on the right side of things. You understand? With all of the trials and the tribulations that we may find ourselves in, we want to make sure that we do the best that we can with what it is that we have. So, is religion crippling our people? Is religion crippling our spirituality? I'm going to say, with all of the wars that's in the world, with all of the bloodshed and the violence and the perversion and the profanity, and you understand where I'm going, family? The world is crazy, but the world is full of religious people. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Because we have so much religion everywhere, it's flourishing everywhere. So then, why is the world upside down? And why is the world riddled with sin and violence and perversion and Epstein this and Epstein that? Where's all of this religious stuff? You understand? The world is in the state that it's in because spirituality hasn't entered in to the world scope of things. Humanity has not adopted true spirituality as a whole because we have been flim flam with this thing called religion. Could it be that we can all put these titles, these religious titles, on the shelf, and we really begin to practice that which is good and that which is right? That our every awakened moment, every hour, every minute, every second of the day is geared and focused on doing that which is right, that which promotes life and enhance life. If it doesn't do that, if it promotes degeneracy, sin, you understand, perversion, and it takes away from our lives. We want to smoke a cigarette. That's 7 years off. That's 7 minutes off of your life. Each cigarette. Why would I engage in suicide on a slow motion level? Why would I do that? You understand? Spirituality is to be in a mode of life promoting, life enhancing, as the Rasta say, liberty, culture, traditions. You understand? So when I step out of my house, I'm going to do my meditation. I'm going to get my stretching on. I'm going to go for a jog. Why? Because it promotes life and living. It promotes good health. When it comes to diet, I'm going to eat my vegetables, my herbs of the field, my fruits, alkaline diet. Why? Because it enhances my physical and mental fortitude. I'm going to read and watch documentaries that's conducive for life and living. You understand? I'm going to tune into the Artist Journal because I know that 20, 30 minutes is going to be nothing but high vibrational energy being exchanged. You understand? I know. So I just wanted to come in today, family, and share a little bit on my heart and mind as it pertains to religion slash spirituality. You understand? And again, family, we had another meeting yesterday going over the land project. We got some beautiful things being cooked up as we speak, being manifest. So stay tuned for some future updates. Also, if you need some artwork, family, feel free to hit us up. All of our information is in the description. You see the Safi Sana hat. You see the vibes. Go on the website, get you a hat. We got them in all colors. We got some merch. We got the art dealer Safi Sana t-shirt on. This is how we doing it, family. And looking forward to putting J Cafe, Jenna, Jessica's work in the gallery this coming week. I don't know exactly what day, but stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a vibe. She's showcasing three of her glass works. That's gonna be fire. Um, and shout out to Almasi Gallery, my man Patrick and Ruben doing excellent work from Kenya all the way to the UK. Look them up online, family. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune out. We about to consume some good plant-based vegan pizza. Y'all know. So we're gonna go ahead and tune out just to tune back in. And I almost forgot. Family. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.